basically uses a reductionist approach, which we have explained to be as when you break it holistic.
We found many different forms of traditional medicine, so we decided to base which use herbal remedies and we train herbal care from local plants, and they're used to treat general symptoms and are passed down through families.
The village bays have a similar create medicine which they then give to their patients. The knowledge and are not shared with other people very often. Because of this, diagnose illnesses and then basic treatment on the diagnosis they've made, whereas a home remedy is simply to treat the general symptoms and you don't do a full diagnosis. While they are...
we also have, there's two different kinds where it's government or private, they call it and also, they view the root cause of the illness as an imbalance within the body that allows the illness to thrive. Restoring that balance, the body will allow.
The reason they do this is because these are made from local plants that are easily accessible, so they cost nothing. And it's knowledge that they already have, so it's very easy for them to implement. So that's the first line of defense that they have, is their home remedies. And if they find that they're not working, most villagers will wait 2 to 3 days on trying their home remedies. And if they still feel ill, often the next step that they'll take is to see if the allopathic cures are known by villagers to be effective and fast, and there appears side effects. So they kind of, and also much more expensive.
So people who have knowledge pass away without passing on to their families or other people. The knowledge just gets lost. We saw that happen in the village of Vignana, where they just don't use it anymore. Nobody knows about it. Also, they won't go to the bay if they have easy access to allopathic hospital. This means if they're in close proximity to the hospital, or they can easily afford it. Village we went to in Verona had a hospital within their village, and they're a pretty wealthy village to begin with. So they never went to go see a bay, they just went straight from the hospital.
Of this sort of pattern, if a village was on a road that led to a doctor, they often went to the doctors.
We spoke to two different bay models here.
Bitten by a snake. It hurts so much, and I think it may be poisonous, so I don't get more sick.
Believe. Most snakes in this region are poisonous in nature.
It may be poisonous. I fear for my safety.
What did the snake look like?
The snake was brown and leathery.
Well, there's no brown snakes in this area that are poisonous, so I think you'll be okay. We don't need treatment.
Fact, most of the snakes in this region are non-poisonous.
I don't know if I really believe that, doctor, because I have been brought up to believe that all the snakes in this region are poisonous. So, I better go see someone else so, I don't get poisoned.
Hello, I am the local bay. What brings you here?
I've been bitten by a snake, and I fear it may be poisonous.
How long?
Thank you. He really listened to me, and he understood that I had a great fear of snakes and being poisoned. He gave me medicine, and I just feel a lot better. Illustrated in an allegorical form a case where a villager would have faith in a babe where they wouldn't have faith in the doctor. As you saw, the villager believed, and has been traditionally brought up to believe, that snakes in this region are poisonous. So when the doctor outright rejected his claim and said that no, you'll be fine, didn't give him a treatment, and didn't make him feel better, he had less faith in the allopathic doctor. The babe, on the other hand, listened to his concerns and framed them in a sense that would comfort him. And in the end, that was more important, and that inspired faith between the villager and the babe, and put distance between the villager and the allopath. There's also a second case where we found that faith was a big issue, and that was in the case of dietary restrictions. However, one of the problems with this we saw was that some doctors do not take the patients were often told to drink a lot of juice. The villagers, though, didn't have a lot of money, since then better, simply because they were afraid if they didn't follow them, they'd fall ill, and just get worse and worse and worse. There was an example of an allopathic doctor who gave dietary restrictions very well, and that was the doctor in Verona. He'd been living there for 20 years, he understood the people who lived nearby and what they could do, and he assigned...
He recognizes their validity because he actually uses the technique.
The first patients to know about a doctor, if necessary, supposing that he can't heal himself or after a period of 4 days.
He also thinks that it has a really good, he thinks that allopathy can treat the illness, but in terms of Ayurvedic, he thinks that Ayurvedic is better because it treats the body and then the body can then rid itself of the disease. The commercialized pill forms of Ayurveda, because their main motive is to make money as opposed to the main motive of Ayurveda, which is to treat people and to heal people. He also thinks that it's the core of the Ayurveda is very important, and if you choose a form similar to the other faith, it's going to have an effect on treatment. So he thinks that you should do the form that it is, and the pill form is just not going to work.
The first thing we found kind of disturbing was the
So my other question is about the dietary restrictions. Suppose there are really no known dietary restrictions. Ethically, is it acceptable to make one up so the patient believes you?
So what was the first one? Sorry.
It's not giving bogus dietary restrictions so they can
I'm sorry?
We didn't get
Say the individuals that are affecting schools. That is fine.
Everybody else, the Women and Children's Group, I'll introduce you to us. मेरा नाम Katie है. मेरा नाम Jessica है. And there was Siesh, and he was a great asset for us because he had to speak with the villagers themselves and talk to them about their personal issues and health concerns. For women's and children's health, the importance of it, we found 3 points that were very important. Neglect was one of the first. If you neglect women's and children's health, you're neglecting the basis of the village, family. They are able to grow and become healthy and contribute to the village. Healthcare practices, it's very important to all the health practitioners, even in the Western and in Indian societies, because they can each learn from each other and start
The village is a lot more clear-headed and aware of exactly what we wanted to know so that we didn't get carried off on tangents of different things that weren't relevant to our subject.
when there's a man. We tried to separate the woman, and with me and Shilpa having our little broken baby, we tried to speak to them to make them feel comfortable so they would open up to us and see that they can trust us and we wouldn't disclose any information to the males of the village.
And that in the sense that they might feel that we can help them in terms of healing any sicknesses and things like that. So we kind of had to make clear that we're there for purposes of learning about their life and about their culture. And also just to add to Rizwana, another thing that we found very useful in helping them open up was talking about things not related to health, talking about what they do on their spare time, what do they do for fun, what kinds of things, at least when we were talking to the children, we asked them, what do you dream about, things like that.
And they were able to talk. We made the relationship and a bond with them, but we felt comfortable and were able to talk as going to women. Joint pain was very common. The lower back pain was associated many times to the menstrual cycle, so that they have to go to the doctor and get different painkillers to deal with this. They had bladder infections and asthma. We visited. Now all these illnesses, they were during weather, sanitation, and diet. Weather was broken up into 3 different sectors. Wind, decent diet, like articles of clothing, or were protecting themselves against the cold. And the monsoon season, it brought in a lot of them. Sanitation, it had 4 different categories. Water purification processes, many people are aware to go to get it. And then mostly women are using the contraceptives, but condoms are available and are at times used. But the pill and the IUCD, which is like a letter C that's inserted inside with look into Zyrtec operation of buying the medication to control it.
So in many of the villages, there are primary schools, and a lot of them are government now. However, there aren't many secondary schools. In fact, Swansea, which was one of the towns that we visited, had one of the biggest and only pretty much secondary schools where a lot of so considering the primary schools, we found that they have this conception, but with government schools they don't pay fees, so that incentive isn't there.
And another important point is with you know, how would you define health? What is health to you? Anything? How do you feel?
General welfare of a person.
Sorry?
General welfare.
General
Whether to be
welfare.
health, sickness, in education, in every way. Emotional, psychological, and physical, everything put together.
Not just the absence of disease, but like mental well-being, physical well-being.
All I'm trying to achieve here is just trying to see that health is a very broad notion, and depending on how you perceive health, the way you're going to take care of health is also going to differ. And why do you think health is important? Why do we go through such great lengths to preserve our health or maintain it?
If good health, you're unable to fulfill your duties and roles in society. In the case of the villages, you said you can't work.
You can't make presentations if you are not healthy.
So we asked the same question the last villages that we went to, and it's a very close village from Samtanika, and it's about a 20-minute walk. And the responses were very, very similar, actually. The first thing that they said was a state of being disease-free. And obviously, like, your level of education affects the way that you perceive health, and if your lifestyle is basically going to farm and cooking and sugar. A lot of people just said a state of being disease-free, but some people said also, like, you know, when I have regular educational level, they can find an answer a little bit more, 4 hours long. Whereas a bad working person and a slow working person can aim between 3 to 4 hours. First time especially safer to be in your own home and giving birth. You know, the environment's familiar, you're not in a different environment with people that you don't know. Whereas in this case, you know, you have the dive machine, you know, well, you know, I can tell the position of the baby while it's in the belly. I can tell that your talk with us was the whole family planning program that the government, and most of the women right now are
Washing dishes. Other villages were able to import soap or use detergent, things like that. So you could see like the different hygiene and these things to be of great importance. So that was interesting to see. I was a lot more prone to seeing the doctor for the first day. Like for the first day when they got sick, they would go and see the doctor. So that was interesting. Other reasons, and now these are the villages that brought this up without us even really mentioning anything about Samta to begin with. So that was also very interesting to see how Samta does have a large impact on the communities and how we thought that was
First question is, were you shocked culturally when you went to these villages and met with people? And the second question is, what would be the one lasting impression that you are taking along with you as women back to Canada?
A lot of, at the one village we saw women predominant, and we were actually shocked to see a female in that kind of position. And I learned from Ruben later that this is the second term that they're trying.
India, more and more about India, because India is not made by cities and towns. It's basically the villages. Like 50% of India lives in the villages. So I come to know about the more conditions, mostly like how to live, culture. So that's like a really new experience for me.
So I've never been to any village, that's a fact. So this was a completely new experience for us. But I think I was quite surprised because the conception I had about these villages was that much more backward from what they actually saw. I think they were quite progressive, and I really liked going to these things, and the way they have schools and everything, and people are much more educated than I thought. So, of course, going with so many people like me, it was a completely new experience as a translator also. And in the beginning, I used to think that people need more help. I mean,
required to do this kind of work. But in spite of that, I think you have done a very detailed study.
I see. Because for holiday.
I'm inspired good You're saying that if the kid eats it, then we're able to talk. They'll have like feedbacks basically.
ये सब खाएगी तो उसके बच्चे
Cuando se vota मालूम
And it's the treat that help सबसे ये जो नहीं खाती हो क्या बोलती
कमजोरी हो जाती है बालू बोलिया
For little things, she'll go
आराम से
Different, some words in French.
Yeah, it's like the same, like French is written like this, but it's a little bit different. Like Michel Vibert, Michel Vivert. Yeah, so it's like